right now we can prove level one, level two, there it might be iffier, but there are probably some questions that I can ask just straight up to determine whether or not. But I'm hoping to have the technology to be able to manifest movement of spinal fluid up into the top of the head. Now, we've already done research. Another of my anchor investors has done research to show that it is possible to study the flow of lymph. Um, and I don't know whether lymph is the proper term. Yeah, it is lymph. And then it becomes the glymphatic system once it gets up in the brain. But he studied it and he showed that it is possible. So all we really need to do is just get someone to put me or another one of my students in an MRI machine and prove it, that we can increase flow. If you can increase flow through these micro vessels that are up in the top of the head, that's proof that you have the power to control whether or not you get brain-related age disease. I'm sorry, age-related brain disease. So Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, those kinds of things. If you can control flow, that air and demonstrate it, increase flow at will, you have control over whether or not you develop Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. This is huge. So anyway, there are other issues as well, brain trauma, being able to recover from that. Now, another possibility, which I think is going on in China, is that there's a possible genomic marker for whether or not a person should be a teacher. And this gets to it's considered pseudoscience if you Google it, but I don't think it is. This is an experiment. The experiment is called the phantom DNA effect, and you can Google that. You can look it up. A group of Russians got together, and I believe this was after the Chinese demonstrated chi to them. And the Russians went back and went, "Well, we're going to figure this out scientifically." So they took a Faraday chamber, which is a structure that blocks out all electromagnetic energy. So nothing's going on inside of it. They sterilized the inside of this thing, and it was glass. So you could see inside, and it had a top and a bottom. It was a tall cylinder. And at the top, they put nanoparticles that were, I think they were iron filaments. So iron is really responsive to electromagnetic energy. So they dropped these nanoparticles down this cylinder and just observed them. And there was no consistent pattern at all. They just made random kind of shapes or non-shapes. So then they fired a laser through while they dropped these filaments. And the laser, had some effect, but it was all kind of inconsistent and no real shape or structure to it. Then they put human DNA in a petri dish at the bottom of this cylinder, dropped the filaments, fired the laser, and the filaments immediately went into these elaborate, gorgeous spirals, which is the spiral is the torsion, suggesting that genes, the human gene, human matter has energy at the genomic level, at the gene level. We radiate some sort of energy that is of another world. We don't know what it is, but I would refer people to that. Look up phantom DNA effect, and you'll see that.